Elden Ring, the game which many people would call From Software's Magnum opus, is now just over 2 years old, and they have finally announced the long-awaited Shadow of the Erdtree Expansion. Hey everyone, Armored Corti here. Why is everyone freaking out about this $40 DLC made by our favorite Swamp technology developer? Other than giving Miyazaki another chance to actually create another Swamp-based adventure, the release of this expansion actually means a lot more than you would think. For both From Software and Bandai Namco, Elden Ring has been a golden goose, with more than 23 million units sold since its release. This is by far the biggest game they've ever had, and it also made more people aware of what From Software is doing in the current landscape of gaming, which is making actual video games, not having to patch in half of the content after the initial release. So with all this success and hype around the developer, what's up with that $40 DLC? I've seen many people online being outraged by the price, and, you know, that's for a good reason. $40, especially for a DLC, is a lot of money. So why don't we have a quick look at what is actually in the DLC, because Miyazaki has blessed us with an interview in which he details some of the things that we can expect to see in the DLC. According to Miyazaki, we will be able to explore a completely new map in this expansion, which is completely separate from the lands between. This map is going to be of a roughly same size as Limgrave from the base game. However, he's also mentioned that this map is going to be much more layered and much more dense in content. We get multiple new legacy dungeons, smaller dungeons as well, we get new weapon types, spells, bosses, and many more things that we can actually explore. And if you are a long-time From Software fan, especially during the time when they were making these Souls games, you know that with pretty much every DLC release, they've only made the respective games the DLC was attached to much better. Artorias of the Abyss, the Crown DLCs for Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3's Ashes of Ariandel, and The Ringed City were all amazing DLCs, which were well worth the price. Really, they've had a great track record when it came to DLCs, and with the lengthy development time of Shadow of the Erdtree, I think this is going to be absolutely huge. I know that $40 is a hard pill to swallow, but based on their track record, I think it is going to be worth it. But there's another aspect to all of this, which is sort of disconnected from the whole value discussion. It's the artistic side of things, something that's hard to directly compare, which is the experience of you being able to explore the lands between anew. The joy of discovering Elden Ring's world really was like no other. At least for me, and I know many people who feel the same. It's always a difficult task for developers to create a game which actually deserves to have an open world. While the appeal for this type of game is very obvious, many people have started to get more and more jaded by something called the Ubisoft style of open world, which has been very prevalent throughout the 2010s. Characterized by its often blatant reuse of game systems, mission types, and other things across a variety of different game series, these worlds almost feel lifeless in comparison to some of the other examples I will get into shortly. Instead of creating a world that feels lived in and organic, you get something that is, ironically, very gamey and formulaic. On the complete opposite side of the open world game discussion, we have sandboxes, like Minecraft, No Man's Sky, or Armor 3, for example. These are the complete antithesis to Ubisoft's open world, and while being way more effective in conveying the feeling of a living world around you, they come with their own set of issues. Lack of direction or goals can end up turning players away, as unlimited freedom isn't always a good thing. And lastly, we have a type of open world that is driven by the player's own curiosity. While still adhering to some strict game design choices and recurring patterns all throughout the world, the perceived freedom you have while exploring this one is way greater than in the Ubisoft style of open world. This is what I would categorize Elden Ring as, or another game which directly inspired it. Genshin Impact. Okay, no, I'm joking. Here come the comments. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. This type of open world is, in my humble opinion, one of the most engaging ones this genre has to offer. Without heavily relying on quest markers to tell the player where exactly they have to go, developers still have to make sure that the player will eventually find their way in the right direction. This breeds the need for a better structural design of the world, and making engaging landmarks and activities will become key to keep the player's attention. Every discovery you make actually starts to feel meaningful, since the game didn't specifically tell you to go touch this one portal in Liurnia, which then proceeds to send you across the whole world. You just happen to come across it due to your own curiosity. Organic moments like these have so much more impact on the whole experience than anything you can find in the Ubisoft style of open world. And for that reason, create a gaming adventure you are likely to never forget. So why did I bother to talk about all of this in the first place? At the start of this segment, I said that exploring Elden Ring's world for the very first time was a magical experience. The change from the more linear approach of level design seen in the earlier Dark Souls games to the huge open world in Elden Ring was a highly debated topic for many fans of the Souls-like genre. Many feared that this change would destroy one of the best aspects of From Software's game design, but once the game was actually released, man, we simply weren't ready for the journey we were about to embark on. My first playthrough of the game took just over 100 hours, and during that time, I absolutely fell in love with the world of Elden Ring. I vividly remember stepping out of Stormvale Castle after defeating Godric to be greeted by one of the most beautiful vistas I have ever seen in any video game ever. Fucking hell. Alright, but I think I should stop myself here, as I could keep talking about Elden Ring's world for another hour or so. And I just remembered that this video was supposed to be about the DLC. Well, anyways, the reason why I brought all of this up is very simple. The wonders of the lands between are numerous and grand in scale. But as soon as you start your second playthrough, sadly, much of the magic is lost. Trust me, there will be some things that you have missed the first time around, but if you took your time to explore most of the world, there's no reason to go back to many places, unless they contain items you need for your build. Your first playthrough of Elden Ring will always be the best one, but this is where Shadow of the Erdtree comes in. Being set in a completely different part of the world, offering a whole new map which is disconnected from the lands between, Shadow of the Erdtree will probably be the last time we will be able to have another first in the world of Elden Ring. This DLC gives us another chance at reliving the same high we were on while exploring the Great Marsh of Liurnia, or the gold-tinted plateau of Altus. It's obviously hard to say whether or not this new region is going to be of a similar quality, but due to the interview that we looked at earlier, I really think that it's going to be at least comparable, but probably even better. With a greater surface area than Limgrave, multiple new legacy dungeons which are supposed to more seamlessly flow into the open world, an even more layered structure, multiple new weapon types, and many more crazy bosses, man, this is going to be a wild ride. Holy shit.
Mother, wouldst thou truly lordship sanction in one so bereft of light?
Is that Mikola? Surely not, right? I'm seeing so many new environments.
I presume you, too, are
yes.
keen to know.
Okay.
Just what kind Mikola is doing here.
Yeah, it's gotta be... This is giving me, like, the first trailer vibes for Elden Ring all over again.
Race of gold, shadow.
This looks massive.
The new race of restless flame.
Come now, touch the withered arm and travel to the realm of shadow. I will not be far behind. May we meet again.
What date? 21st of June. This expansion is going to be a wild ride, and I want you all to be able to experience this with me together. So I will be live streaming my playthrough of this DLC right here on the channel. And I'm currently also in the process of doing another playthrough with the sole purpose of getting a character ready for this DLC. So maybe join us, maybe subscribe, maybe like the video. And also, I have to quickly apologize to everyone who's been waiting for a new video because it's been a while again. It's been a couple of weeks. There's a good reason for this. I've been restructuring some videos. I've been working on multiple projects at the same time. And if you're in the Discord, which you already should be, you'd already know what I'm going to do with the content in the future because there are big plans in motion. You will see a lot more Souls content on this channel. Well, anyways, sorry again for the long wait for this upload. We should be back to a more healthy schedule now. And I have to thank you all for watching this video. I am incredibly excited for this DLC, as I'm sure you are as well. A huge shout out goes out to all of my channel members, as seen somewhere here on screen. But this is going to be it for now, and I will see you in the next one.